Hello, everybody. You know, people usually say that kids shouldn't play video games a lot because they can be addicting. And I really never believed that until my mom became addicted. My name is Jerry. I'm 12 years old and I love to play games on my phone. I really love this one strategic game. I built my own city, I was at war with one of the players, and I even created alliances with others. Okay, I know I spend too much time playing this game. But what am I supposed to do? I'm not that popular at school because I don't have a lot of friends, so naturally, I spend whole days playing, including during class. And that was the main reason why my mom was called to school. Oh my gosh, I was so afraid when this happened. My mom works a lot, and she had to take time off to come to school, so I was waiting for a huge punishment. My teacher told her that I was developing a gaming addiction, and that it was necessary for her to take urgent measures. But to my surprise, my mom didn't scold me. She knew that I was lonely and didn't mind that I had fun sometimes. But of course, we had to set some limits. I wouldn't play in the classroom, and I had to improve my academic performance. I'm still very grateful to my mom for how she treated me. A couple weeks later, there was a special offer from my game. Bring a friend and get 10 rubies. 10! Can you imagine? I could finally improve the town hall. Okay, that probably doesn't mean anything to you, so just know it's a lot. But the thing is that I didn't have friends I could invite. So I waited until that evening when my mom came home from work, took her phone, and installed the game. At dinner, my mom noticed that her phone was constantly chirping. The game sends notifications. I was a little embarrassed, but I told my mother that I installed the game on her phone to get a bonus, and I braced myself for a lecture about the fact that you shouldn't touch other people's things. But this conversation didn't go quite as expected. My mom actually perked up a little bit. She began to ask me about the game. I guess she was just taking interest in me, and that made me very happy. A few days later, I was sitting in class, and it was really boring. But I tried my best to learn chemistry, no matter how stupid I thought it was. It was hard to focus, because my phone was constantly vibrating in my pocket. I knew it was the game, and I tried not to react. I had promised, but at some point, my patience ran out. I took out my phone and saw a bunch of messages in the game. And they were all from my mom. She was asking for some resources. Ha ha, I texted her. I didn't expect you to want to play this. She responded, sometimes it's the most interesting way to kill a little time. And after a little pause, where are my resources? Wow, I was so glad my mom started playing with me. It's unbelievable, but we actually started to communicate more thanks to this game. Cool. But after a month of this, everything went wrong. Mom got the flu, and the doctors put her on bed rest for a whole week. And that was one hell of a week. After school, I had to take care of my mom, cook, go shopping, and do house stuff all by myself. I know that I'm the only man in the house and that I should take care about everything. But I'm also only 12 years old. So naturally, in 1 week, our house turned into a mess. During this week, Mom spent an enormous amount of time playing this game. She said she had nothing else to do, and that it helped time pass faster. Then I thought, okay, why not? Finally, my mom recovered, but when I woke up Monday with hopes that my mom was ready to go back to work and start doing things around the house again, I found her still lying in bed playing on her phone. I said, hey Mom, don't you have to go back to work? But she replied that she still wasn't feeling well, and that she was going to stay home for a couple more days. It was obvious she wasn't sick anymore. I said, Mom, you have to get up, our house is a mess. I'm tired of eating cereal every day, you have to do something. But these words just made her angry. She yelled at me and sent me to school. But my mom would never do this. Something was wrong. And then I realized that she had another reason to stay in bed. She wanted to play the game. So gaming addiction is real. And now my own mother is suffering from it. For days I tried to talk her into going back to work. But every time, she just ended up yelling at me. I felt powerless. We lived together, but we only saw each other once a day when my mother gave me money to buy food. And one day, instead of money, my mom gave me a credit card. As usual, at the store, I bought a few boxes of cereal, milk, and a couple frozen pizzas so I can cook them in the microwave. But I couldn't pay because there wasn't enough money on the card. I was so ashamed at the store. I looked really stupid. I ran home in a panic. When I got home, I saw 2 men standing on our porch. They saw me and came over. They said, "You're Jerry, right? We work with your mom, and it looks like she's not home. Please give her this letter." And then they left. But my mother was home. She just seemed to be ignoring her colleagues. And I knew this letter was probably bad news. I was right. The letter said that my mother was fired because she hasn't been back in the office for weeks. I can't believe that my mom completely lost control of her life. It knew I knew it couldn't go on like this, but there was nothing I could do. Mom definitely needed help, but she wouldn't listen to me. So all I could do was just go to school and tell my teacher everything, and that's just what I did. She listened to me, told me to go home, and that they would soon settle everything, but I had no idea how she was going to do it. In the evening, the doorbell rang. I opened the door, and there stood my teacher with two strangers who had a stern look on their face. They went in and inspected the house. I was so ashamed of the mess. The house looked awful. Pizza boxes were in a huge pile. Cereal was scattered on the floor. There were wilted flowers on the windowsill. The strangers went into my mother's room, and my teacher told me to pack up my things for the road, and that we were going to my aunt's today. But when she said we, I thought me and my mom. I was wrong. I heard my mom fighting with those two stern people and yelling. I was so scared. I didn't know what was going on. But as it turned out, the teacher had reported everything to social services, and now there's a chance that my mother could be deprived of her parental rights. Oh my God, I did not expect this to happen. But I had no say in anything else. I was taken to my aunt, and she was appointed as my temporary guardian, and my mother was sent to rehabilitation. We talked for several hours on the phone. She cried the whole time and apologized, but that didn't make it any easier. Now I live with my aunt, who I saw about 7 years ago, and my mother is somewhere far away. I feel guilty for the fact that we were separated. After all, I was not able to bring my mother back to reality. I complained to the teacher, and more importantly, I was the one who hooked my mother on this game. Now I have to hope that my mom will make every effort to get rid of her gaming addiction, and find a job so that she will not be deprived of her parental rights, and we can be together again. Thanks, guys. What would you do if you noticed some kind of addiction in your parents? Do you think you could influence them? Tell me in the comments, and of course, like this video and share it with your friends. Bye!